Greetings, everyone. It's Nick Vanderlaan. I'm here in Jerusalem. It's the Sabbath, so Shabbat Shalom. Greetings in the wonderful name of Yahweh and His Son, our Savior Yeshua, the Messiah. It's the 25th day of the first month on Yahweh's Enoch solar calendar. I'm going to start calling it Yahweh's Enoch solar calendar. Make sure that the Creator, Father, and Son of the family name Yah is given praise and given glory in the calendar that He created. So it's April 14th, and it's the nighttime of the Sabbath. The Sabbath day had already come and gone. It's the night. Tomorrow daybreak's going to be the first day of the week. Okay, so this message is going to be on Passover and unleavened bread and how they make perfect sense using the sunrise start biblical day. So just a couple of weeks ago, I came to the understanding how the biblical day starts at sunrise. I did a video on it. You can take a look at it. But in this video that I did, I basically referred to the video that I was introduced to by someone in the comment section about when the biblical day starts. And I refer you to this video. When does a day start, morning or evening? It's by To Be Saved is the channel. And if you haven't seen it, and if you still think that the biblical day starts at sunset, you're extremely mistaken. It's right there, as plain as day, right in front of our eyes, that the biblical day starts at sunrise. And we've been deceived. Like I said, it came from Babylon. It came in through the Talmud or the Oral Torah, and it has come into a lot of the Messianic movement, and now we're coming into the truths. And Yahweh is getting us lined up on His calendar so we can understand the events that are going to be unfolding here shortly, and they're unfolding right now as we speak, and then also for His return and for all the future events. How can we know these things when we don't even know when the day starts? So please, if you haven't watched this video, or you think the day starts in the evening, you need to take a look at it. Okay, so this chart I made helps explain how Passover and unleavened bread fit perfectly on a sunrise start biblical day. First, we're going to go through this chart, then we'll go ahead through the scriptures and line it back up on the chart. Okay, we established that the day starts at sunrise. The biblical day starts at sunrise, then you have daytime, which is called day, then you have sunset, which starts evening time, which is nighttime, and then it gets dark at night, and then right before the sunrise, you have dawn. So this is what a full 24-hour day looks like. So here we have the days according to the calendar dates of the first month, which is Abib, 15th through the 21st. Important to note these days down here. On Yahweh's Enoch solar calendar, Passover is always going to be on the third day of the week. The first day of unleavened bread is going to be on the fourth day of the week, which is on the 15th day. So the 14th day of the first month is always going to be the third day of the week on Yahweh's Enoch solar calendar. The 15th day of the first month is always going to be the fourth day of the week. The 18th day of the first month is always going to be a Sabbath. All right? So this is how the calendar lines up year after year. So we're going to go ahead now and get into it. As you can see, the light blue is daytime, and the dark blue represents nighttime. Let's go ahead and look at the scriptures, and we'll revisit the chart. Leviticus 23, verses 5 through 7. In the 14th day of the first month at evening is Yahweh's Passover. Okay, so let's go. 14th day at evening, which is sunset, is Yahweh's Passover. And on the 15th day of the same month is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. 7 days ye must eat unleavened bread. In the first day you shall have a holy convocation and do no servile work therein, but you shall offer an offering made by fire to Yahweh 7 days. In the 7th day is a holy convocation, and you shall do no servile work therein. All right, so 14th day Passover starts in evening. Okay, the 15th day is the first day of unleavened bread, right here. Okay, it's the fourth day of the week. This day, there's no servile work during the daytime or during the nighttime. It's a holiday, all right? Also on the 7th day, okay, it's also a holiday. No servile work, right here, 7th day of unleavened bread. Both of these, the first day and the 7th day of unleavened bread, holidays. Okay? Exodus 12:6-10. And you shall keep it up until the 14th day of the month, speaking of the Passover lamb. And the whole assembly of the congregation shall kill it in the evening. And they shall take the blood and strike it on the two sides of the post and the upper door post of the houses, wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roasted with fire, and unleavened bread. Okay, so they're going to eat the Passover, the lamb or goat, under a year old, male, without blemish, with unleavened bread, right here. Okay, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. And nothing of it shall, nor sodden with water, but roast with fire, his head and with his legs, and with the putnance, and ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning. And that which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire. Okay, so you're supposed to eat it with unleavened bread. Not leavened bread, but unleavened bread. When? In the evening. Okay, so here it is. So Passover starts here, and you're supposed to eat it with unleavened bread. Exodus 12, verses 15-18. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day you shall put away leaven out of your houses. So you throw it out, your leaven, on the first day of unleavened bread. So on the first day you throw out the leaven. And we'll talk about the leaven and what the leaven is in another video. And whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day unto the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel. And in the first day there shall be a holy convocation. And in the 7th day there shall be a holy convocation to you. No matter of work shall be done in them, save which every man must eat, and only that be done. To understand this again, there's no servile work. So it's like a holiday from your job, but you can make the food that you're going to eat on these days. You can make the food. So it's a holiday. It's a festival. And you shall observe the feast of unleavened bread in the selfsame day I have brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. The 15th day of the first month they were brought out of Egypt. Okay, therefore you shall observe this day in your generations by an ordinance forever. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month at evening, you shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at evening. Okay, well, we were just told here that the 15th day is the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and there's 7 days, but now it's saying 14th day of the month at evening to the 21st day of the month at evening. So this is what this chart is all about, and this is how we're going to explain it. So it just commanded us that no leaven is to be eaten started the 14th day. It says not to eat it for 7 days. Now, or is this 7-day periods? So 14th day, starting here, you don't eat, and all the way up to the evening of the 21st day, evening of the 21st day at evening, that's when you stop. So from here to here is when you don't eat unleavened bread. Now we can count this out. 1 day time, 2 day time, 3 day time, 4 day time, 5 day time, 6 day time, 7 day time. 7 days, 7 daytime days, you eat unleavened bread. From the sunset evening on the 14th to the evening on the 21st, and even at the night times here, during these days, no leaven is to be eaten. All right, no leaven is to be in your houses. Observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover unto Yahweh thy Elohim. For in the month of Abib, Yahweh and thy Elohim brought thee forth out of Egypt by night. Thou shalt sacrifice the Passover to Yahweh thy Elohim of the flock of the herd, and place it in the place which Yahweh shall choose to place his name there. Thou shalt eat no leavened bread with it. 7 days shalt thou eat unleavened bread therewith, even the bread of affliction. For thou camest forth out of the land of Egypt in haste, that thou mayest remember the day when thou camest forth out of the land of Egypt, all the days of thy life. And there shall be no leavened bread seen in thee in all thy coasts 7 days. Neither shall there anything of flesh without sacrifice on the first day at evening remain until the morning. So you're supposed to burn it. So guys, getting back to Exodus 12:15-18, we're talking about this leaven. It says, put the leaven out of your houses. And you know, a lot of people, we don't think about leaven what it is. A lot of people think sodium bicarbonate, like baking soda or some type of other chemical leavening agent. I also don't think that they had like activated dry yeast or those yeast packets that you get from the supermarket. The leaven that the Israelites had, I believe, was a sourdough starter. So if you don't know anything about sourdough starters, basically it's a yeast culture of flour mixed in with water that has developed a yeast culture. And what you would do is you would scoop some of this out and mix it in with the dough that you're making. You would let your dough rest and the dough would ferment. So here, guys, right here, actually, I have our sourdough starter. So take a look at the starter here. You know, for anyone that doesn't know, it's like a soupy, you know, it takes about, interesting enough, it takes about 3 to 5 days, maybe a little bit longer for it to build up strength enough to actually ferment the dough. So you would, again, scoop some of this and put it in with your flour and your water and oil if you're making a dough or a bread, and you would let the dough sit out and it would naturally ferment, and then you would bake it. That's how it becomes like that sourdough taste. So interesting what the concept here that Yahweh has the Israelites do. I believe that there's probably some very significant health benefits to the sourdough starter. So let's think about it, okay? Most people, what you do is as you use your starter or as you need to strengthen it, what you would do, as you would strengthen it, what you would do is you would just add flour into the starter and mix it, and it would feed it. And then little bubbles would come up because the bacteria, the yeast inside is feeding on the new flour and staying healthy. And it's good bacteria. It's healthy bacteria. So what you would do is you would keep the same starter for almost like a year straight, continuing to use it and add more flour and water into it and keep it healthy and thriving, like keeping the culture thriving. And then, so what Yahweh would want us to do is to throw out this culture and then completely remove all the leaven from our houses, all leavened bread and any of the other cultures for a full 7 days. And then you would start your new culture after that week had gone by. Now that new culture takes around 5 days for it to build up strength. And when we get into the Feast of First Fruits in my next video, it's kind of interesting because according to Yah's Enoch calendar, the first fruit starts on the 26th day of the first month. And you are not, I believe in Leviticus, you weren't supposed to eat any grain until the first fruit offering. So it looks like you would eat unleavened bread, from my understanding right now. You would eat unleavened bread without this culture. Okay, how to have something maybe with your gut biome in your gut, where you eat leavened bread the whole year basically. 7 days you take off, you eat unfermented bread. Okay, and the fermentation process of the bread makes the wheat gluten, it breaks it down and makes it easier to digest, easier on your system. So for 7 days, you're eating a harsher bread on your gut. And then after first fruits, you can go back to eating leavened bread again after first fruits. And now you have a brand new culture, a fresh culture of your sourdough starter. So I'm sure there's some pretty powerful health benefits to this. You know, Yahweh, the Torah, is instruction for life, healthy living, right? Don't wear mixed fibers because of the frequencies. Wool has a 5,000 frequency. Linen has a 5,000 frequency. The healing linen, you know, people would wrap up your body in linen when you were injured or you had a wound, and it would heal faster because of the frequency of the fabric. And when you mix them, it cancels out that 5,000 frequency. Organic cotton has a frequency of 100, and GMO cotton has a frequency, I believe a test was done, of 70. Enough still to sustain life. But when you get into lower frequency fabrics and you get into synthetic fabrics, those frequencies are like 0, which aren't self-sustaining to life and actually are damaging to you. So Yahweh doesn't want you to wear those mixed fibers like that. And it's all about, Yahweh wants us to live a healthy life. So guys, it all lines up how the day starts at sunrise and how Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread, according to the scriptures, when you have the correct time of how a day starts in the correct calendar, it all lines up perfectly. So I hope you are blessed, and shalom in Yeshua HaMashiach.